Welcome to the Obsidian Protocol, where ancient secrets meet modern mysteries. In this immersive series, you are the protagonist, navigating a world hidden in the shadows where secret societies, forgotten artifacts, and otherworldly forces collide. Every step brings you closer to the truth, but at what cost? Subscribe now and don't miss an episode as we unravel the mystery of the Obsidian Protocol. What you're about to discover will change everything. It's a quiet, eerie night. The kind where everything feels just slightly off. You stand at the front door of your apartment, keys in hand, when something catches your eye, a weathered envelope, half buried under your door. No name, no return address, only a black wax seal embossed with an obelisk. You pick it up, noticing the old, rough texture of the paper. It feels ancient, as though it's traveled a long, unseen journey to reach you. Your heartbeat quickens as you tear open the envelope, breaking the seal. The sound of the wax cracking echoes unnaturally loud in the hallway. Inside is a letter, written in flowing, elegant script. Though the language is foreign, its meaning forms clearly in your mind. You have been chosen. Your journey begins tonight. A cold, metallic object slips out from behind the letter and lands in your palm. It's a key. Its surface is smooth, yet carved with symbols you don't recognize. The key pulses faintly in your hand, like it's alive. The hallway lights above you begin to flicker. Shadows stretch and distort on the walls, twisting in ways that make your heart race. You glance at your phone, only to see a message from an unknown number. It begins tonight. Your stomach churns with fear, but a strange sense of curiosity starts to bubble up within you. This isn't an accident. This isn't a joke. Something real is happening, and you've just been pulled into it. You pace around your apartment, trying to make sense of what's happening. The key feels heavier now, as though it's pulling you somewhere. Your phone buzzes again, another message. Go to the corner of 8th and Elm. You glance out the window. The street outside is quiet, the cold wind rustling the trees, but there's something in the air. A tension, a heaviness. Every logical part of you screams to stay inside, but something deeper pulls you toward the unknown. You step into the hallway, the floor creaking under your feet. The shadows seem to follow you as you make your way to the door. Outside, the air is cold and biting, the mist thickening as you walk toward the intersection. Your mind races with questions. Who sent the letter? What is this key? Why you? The walk to 8th and Elm feels longer than usual. Each step is deliberate, as though you're crossing into a place you've never been before. The streetlights flicker as you approach the intersection. It's completely empty, yet you can feel someone watching, and then you see it. A figure standing at the far end of the block, cloaked in shadows, unmoving. You stop in your tracks, frozen. The figure, tall and cloaked, stands perfectly still beneath a flickering street lamp. It's as though time has slowed. The figure slowly raises a hand, pointing directly at you. Your heart pounds in your chest. You instinctively reach for the key in your pocket. Feels like it's vibrating now. You take a deep breath and begin walking toward the figure, your mind filled with dread and questions. But as you approach, they disappear, vanishing into the mist as if they were never there. Your phone buzzes again, the same unknown number. The message reads, "Welcome to the Obsidian Protocol." Your pulse quickens, and you feel the weight of the key in your hand again. You stand in the middle of the empty street, the mist swirling around you. Whatever this is, whatever you've been pulled into, it's only the beginning. You glance back toward your apartment, but deep down, you know there's no turning back now. The night is colder than usual, the kind of cold that doesn't just brush against your skin but digs into your bones, making you feel every inch of the darkness that surrounds you. Even through layers of clothing, you feel the chill creeping in. You stand at the edge of 8th and Elm, staring at the exact spot where the mysterious figure vanished just moments ago. The mist clings stubbornly to the street, swirling in slow, unpredictable patterns under the dim, flickering streetlights. The key in your hand feels different now, heavier, as though its intricate carvings have a life of their own. You turn it over in your palm, the strange symbols pulsing faintly, almost like a heartbeat. There's something about the air tonight that carries a weight, an urgency you can't quite explain. And though a part of you longs to turn back, to return to the warmth and safety of your apartment, you know deep down that whatever happens next, there's no turning back now. Then, the sharp vibration of your phone cuts through the silence. Another message from the same unknown number. The next step awaits. No details, no explanation. Just another cryptic instruction that leaves your heart pounding faster than before. And yet, despite the fear gripping your chest, you feel a strange pull. Something deep inside compels you to move forward. Your legs move before your mind catches up, carrying you down the quiet street. The familiar streets of your neighborhood seem different now. What was once a regular pathway feels warped, strange, as though the very world around you is subtly shifting. The air hums with a low, persistent energy, the streetlights buzzing louder than they should. Shadows stretch unnaturally long along the pavement, twisting and bending in ways that make you uneasy. The mist thickens with each step, softening the edges of the world, blurring the line between reality and something else. As you continue walking, a cold breeze cuts through the stillness, sending a shiver down your spine. But something else lingers in the air, something more sinister. Footsteps. At first, they're faint, barely perceptible over the sound of the wind, but with each step you take, they grow louder. They echo behind you, just out of sync with your own movements, as though someone or something is following in your shadow. You glance over your shoulder, half expecting to see someone there, but the street behind you is empty, just as it was before. The streetlights flicker in the distance, the mist swirling lazily, but there's no sign of anyone. Still, the sensation of being followed clings to you like a second skin. You quicken your pace, heart racing, but the footsteps quicken too. Suddenly, a shadow darts across your path. It's quick, so fast you barely register it, but your mind knows what you saw. Your body tenses, your breath catches in your throat, and your feet stop moving. The world falls silent, the sound of those unseen footsteps stopping too. The night holds its breath along with you, the air growing impossibly still. You stand frozen, scanning the street ahead, waiting, listening for something to move. Then, from the corner of your eye, you catch a flicker of movement, a figure cloaked in the darkness between two buildings, standing perfectly still, watching you. This isn't the same figure from before, but something about them feels eerily familiar, as if they, too, are tied to this strange, unfolding journey. The key in your hand pulses again, a small throb that reminds you it's more than just a key. It's a tether. The figure steps forward, their face still hidden beneath the hood of their cloak. The shadows cling to them as they move, making it hard to discern where they end and the night begins. Then, without warning, a voice, low, distorted, echoes from beneath the hood, almost like a whisper carried on the wind. Follow. Before you can respond, the figure turns, their cloak sweeping through the mist as they disappear into the dark alleyway ahead. You stand there, heart pounding, mind racing. Every part of you wants to turn away, to leave this madness behind, but something in the pit of your stomach urges you onward. You hesitate at the mouth of the alley, staring into the darkness beyond. It feels like stepping into a void, like crossing a boundary you'll never return from. But the key pulls at you, its pulse growing stronger, more insistent, as though it's guiding you. Your feet begin to move, almost against your will, carrying you deeper into the alley. As soon as you step inside, the world seems to shift around you. The shadows here are thicker, more oppressive, clinging to you like they're alive. The air is colder, so cold that each breath you take comes out as a visible puff in the mist. You wrap your arms around yourself, trying to ward off the chill, but it's no use. It's as though the cold is coming from within the alley itself, seeping into your very bones. You glance at the walls on either side of you and notice something strange. The stone is etched with symbols, similar to the ones on the key. They glow faintly in the dark, pulsing in time with the key in your hand. You run your fingers across them, and to your surprise, the stone is warm, almost alive beneath your touch. The symbols hum softly as your fingers trace their curves, sending a faint vibration through your hand. The alley stretches on far longer than it should. What should be a short walk between two buildings feels like a never-ending corridor of shadows and glowing symbols. The further you go, the more distorted the world around you becomes. The ground seems to tilt beneath your feet, and the air grows thick, heavy with a sense of foreboding. Every step feels like a step deeper into something otherworldly. Finally, after what feels like an eternity, you reach the end of the alley. A single flickering streetlight casts weak light over the figure standing there, waiting for you. The key pulses again, glowing faintly in your hand, as if in recognition. The figure turns slowly, their hood still obscuring their face, and you can feel their gaze locked onto you, even if you can't see it. "You've come far," the voice whispers again, though this time it feels like the words are spoken directly into your mind. But your journey is only beginning. The figure steps aside, revealing a massive door embedded in the alley wall. The door is ancient, its surface weathered and covered in more of those strange, glowing symbols. At the center of the door is a keyhole, perfectly shaped to match the key in your hand. Your hand trembles as you step forward, drawn to the door. Without hesitation, you insert the key into the lock. The second the key slides in, the air around you seems to shift. A low rumbling sound vibrates through the stone beneath your feet, and slowly the door begins to creak open. A wave of cold air rushes out from the darkness beyond, carrying with it the faint scent of old stone and something else. Something that sends a chill down your spine. The door opens fully, revealing a dark staircase descending into the earth. The steps are worn, cracked with age, as though they've been there for centuries, waiting for someone like you to find them. Faint, glowing symbols line the walls, casting just enough light to guide your way. You glance back at the cloaked figure, half expecting them to follow, but they're gone, vanished into the shadows as if they were never there. The staircase beckons you. There's no question now. You have to go down. You begin your descent, the sound of your footsteps echoing loudly in the narrow passageway. The further down you go, the colder the air becomes. It wraps around you, clinging to your skin like icy fingers, each step pulling you deeper into the earth. The glowing symbols on the walls pulse rhythmically, casting an eerie, shifting light on the stone around you. It feels like the walls are alive, watching, waiting. As you reach the bottom of the staircase, the passageway opens up into a vast underground chamber. The ceiling arches high above, covered in intricate carvings that seem to move and shift in the flickering light of the torches lining the walls. At the center of the room stands an ancient stone altar, worn with age, but glowing faintly with the same energy as the key in your hand. You step forward, drawn to the altar, but something about this place feels wrong. The air here is thick, almost suffocating, and the shadows in the corners of the room seem to move on their own, creeping closer with every flicker of the torchlight. Your heartbeat quickens, your skin prickling with the sensation of being watched, though no one else is here. As you approach the altar, the torches around the room flicker once, twice, then go out completely, plunging the chamber into darkness. A low rumbling sound echoes through the room, almost like a distant growl. Your heart pounds in your chest as panic sets in. You fumble for the key, gripping it tightly, its faint glow the only source of light in the pitch-black chamber. Just when the tension becomes unbearable, the torches reignite with a burst of light. Standing before you now is another figure, taller, more imposing than the one you followed into the alley. They wear the same robes as the statues lining the walls, but there's something about them that feels more alive. "You have been chosen," the figure says, their voice echoing through the chamber like a distant thunderclap. You are part of the Obsidian Protocol now. The weight of their words settles over you like a shroud. You try to speak, to ask a question, but your voice catches in your throat. Before you can respond, the figure steps forward, raising a hand toward you. The key in your hand pulses violently, its glow now blinding. The ground beneath your feet trembles, and the walls of the chamber seem to close in, the carvings shifting and writhing like living creatures. The figure's hand hovers just above your chest, their eyes, hidden beneath the hood, seeming to pierce through you. Prepare for what lies ahead, they whisper, their voice low and ominous. Before you can react, the room darkens once more, the shadows swallowing everything. And then, everything goes black.